gentlemen, sim racing fans of all ages, good evening and welcome here to round 4 of the iRacing Israel League. Tonight we're coming at you live from the virtual fast and flowing Oulton Park Circuit. Specifically, that short but tricky Foster's layout. It's a venue that rewards rhythm, bravery, and precision. With these with 2 races on the card, a 20-minute heat, and as well as that feature race where we're going to invert those top 10. We're in some fireworks here tonight in the iRacing Israel League. And we appreciate everybody joining us down there live in YouTube land, as this is going to be a run for the money. Before we cut to virtual track side, let's take a look at some virtual point standings here. As Yuval Merrick is P1 in the point standings. Ron Sassoni, I don't think he's made it out here on track tonight, but Ron there P2. Adi Goldberg Shaul, he has made it out here on track. 3rd fastest in practice, as well as really fast in qualifying, but unfortunately Adi will have to start this heat race from pit lane. So that's going to be fun to watch him kind of work his way through this 24 driver grid. Arnon Levy, as well as Rodem Lev, Iran Dalitsky, Amir Atun, Omri Farag, and Gor Tal, who round up the top 10 in the point standings. Now, as we do cut virtual trackside action here, we are in for a treat, as we are already side by side through the field. Yuval Merrick slaps it on the pole. Reuven Cha-Cha right there beside him. Omri Farag, Yassi Gabay, as well as Sisian Baba rounding up the top 5. Amir Atun, Gor Tal, Arnon Levy, Idan Eliyahu, as well as Jor Last rounding up the top 10. Yuval, Arnon, Rodem Lev, Idan Dalitsky, Mark Zubrev, Tomer Ventura, Ofer Mazuz, Alexei Sorpin, Ezra Raphael, as well as Gabriel Fuchs rounding out the top 20. We have a 24-driver grid. The lights are out. Hang here with us, and away these drivers go. Foot off and back onto the gas pedal we go. It's Yuval Merrick. It's Omri Farag out up front, leading this pack here into this tough, treacherous turn 1. We're going to start to look single file out here from the front, about 10 runners, and then we're going to start to look 2 and 3 wide. This is going to be a fun track opening lap here, as we're already starting to beat and bang. I believe that's Rodem Lev, as well as UV right there in front of him. Idan Dalitsky is also right now fighting for his right to party in that number 16 white Mazda MX5 machine. How about Tomer? He's going to find that inside line. Door quarter clear. Tomer Ventura already up to 15th position. Keep your eye on about that 10th battle right here, as that's where these drivers are. It's a top 10 inversion here for our feature race. Welcome to heat racing here, as Yuval Merrick continues to run away with the race lead. This is kind of, I'm going to keep the track back up, because this is kind of a NASCAR track, if you will, here for road course racing. It's all going to be in the slipstream. It's all going to be in the draft. It's all going to be side by side here between Reuven Cha-Cha and Omri Farag. It looks like Reuven was able to get P2 down and away from Omri Farag. Here comes Yassi Gabay, still continuing to run where he started. Sisian Baba, as well as Gor Tal, starting to join that battle as well, as now these drivers find their way back and heading down into the isn't so straight. Yuval Merrick opening that 1.4 second gap. Reuven Cha-Cha closing in just barely. Omri Farag to that final 3rd driver interview spot. It's still Sissy and Baba. It's still Gor Tal going at it for 5th, 6th, 7th, as well as Arnon Levy. How about Amir Atun? He's only lost 2 positions since the drop of the green flag, but we'll hop on board with Amir. It is a game of, once again, slipstream, draft. I don't think it's who's winning here at lap 1 of the race. I think it's who's going to find themselves within race contention, closing a little bit closer to that white and checkered flag for not only the heat race finish, but as well as, most importantly, that feature race finish. Amir Atun still 0.3 of a second, trying to reel in Arnon Levy for that P7 spot. UV Yishiyahu, Rodem Lev, Dror Last, as well as Iran Dalitsky. How about 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th? Here's some side-by-side going into are kind of tough, treacherous turn one. There's some 3 wide right up there in front of him there, as it looks like Amir Atoun has the popcorn bucket out, as that's two rows running side by side. Now it's going to be Arnon Levy, as well as Sisyan Baba, who gets loose as a goose there on corner exits. Sisyan's able to gather it right up there with him. Here comes contact there. No, no, no. I believe that's Amir Atoun who had contact. Oh, and he goes right across almost the racing line. He's going to get his foot back on the gas pedal. Gabriel Fuchs. Oh, no. That Mazda MX5 has some pretty detrimental, excuse me, not Gabriel Fuchs. Arnon Levy as well as Amir Atoun, the 2 drivers involved there. Gabriel Fuchs, not any damage on that bright green machine. Here, I believe, is going to be a kind of, God, look at all of these drivers getting their pilot's licenses here tonight. All those right side tires lifted up and off of the racetrack. I think here's the contact that kind of ensues. Nothing egregious. Kind of tally this one up as a racing incident, as we'll get a better angle of it this time by. All right, we're taking the bird's eye camera shot. The left side tires in the grass for Amir Atoun. Nowhere to go. Tries to send that steering wheel a little bit to the right, and unfortunately kind of right rear hooks the Arnon Levy machine. What has happened up here for the battle for the race lead? What was a demanding race lead for Yuval Merrick. It's cut down to about a 1/10 of a second, maybe about a 1/10 and a half here as these drivers start to work their way back. Oh, we got a spin down there in the back of them. I think that was, oh, that's going to be Yossi goes around. Who's now towed it back down into pit lane. Back to this battle out here, out up front. It's starting to heat up. It's broiling between Yuval Merrick as well as Reuven Chacha. You can try, ladies and gentlemen, but it's hard to get much just better than this battling. It's clean. It's ethical. It's all cool, calm, and cordial here, but I don't think it will be for just how long. Reuven Chacha, he's continuing to retain that. It's less than a 1/10 of a second gap here as they make their way down and out of turns 9 and 10, 2, 1, and 2 this time by. It all starts to look a little similar from this Foster's layout. I believe we have that virtual onboard camera here tonight for Reuven Chacha. This will be a fun onboard shot. Listen in on that throttle pedal going to work. .160, 170 kilometers an hour. Here's going to be an outside move here for Reuven Chacha if he's able to find the grip. Nope, he's not able to find the grip. Maybe tries to make the crossover action happen here. It looks like that's exactly what he's setting up out of 9 and 10. Reuven Chacha, he's going to work right here. He's going to school. He is studying for his exam, which is the white and checkered flag for this heat, as well as feature race in a couple moments' time. Yuval Merrick, Reuven were side by side through turn 1. Reuven testing. He's trying to see what will work, what won't work. That was a slide all gone possibly wrong there for Yuval Merrick there to turns 2 and 3. Left side tires once again lifted up off the racing circuit. That's going to really compromise Yuval's exit here, as here comes Reuven Chacha. Door quarter clear. The #1 Mazda MX5 machine back up to the race lead after starting P2. Well, he now has it, as this battle here just quite isn't yet over. Here's Yuval. He's going to make that outside line work. Not quite. Let's see if he's trying to set up the inside line. Let's hop on board with a virtual as well as real life Yuval Merrick here. Oh my days, days, days. Look at Yuval go. And he's still clean, calm, and collected there in the driver, the live driver camera. I don't know how, though. I would be losing my rear trying to get this throttle pedal down as quick as I can. Maybe, like we do see Yuval here, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the 25 as well as the 1 as Reuven goes back to the race lead. A little bit of contact there. It's bump drafting between the 2 race leaders. This is, like I said earlier on in the race, it's kind of a road course oval, if you can kind of call it that. We're going to see kind of some stock car experience from these iRacing Israel drivers going at it here tonight from Oulton Park Circuit. It's the 2.6 kilometer layout. There's only 10 turns, and this is the heat race. If you're just now joining us, there's only about 13-14 minutes left to go in this one until we re-rack them, we restack them, and we invert those top 10 drivers. Tal Stern, unfortunately not able to make it out this season, but he's doing a lot of work there behind the scenes, as well as Elion. We appreciate the league owners. We appreciate everybody down there live in YouTube land who's joined us for another barn burner of a race. And we appreciate these drivers putting on a show for the race fans. It's Reuven Chacha with 7,200 I rating. It's Reuven Chacha with a hard-charging Yuval Merrick. He's down and around the outside line. Yuval Merrick, he's looking like a four-wheeler as he puts 4 tires off of the racetrack. No, no, no! Contact between the 2 front drivers. Reuven Chacha saves it. Yuval Merrick is going to try to have to run away here after a bump and run all gone wrong. I don't think Yuval meant for that to happen, but I don't think Reuven knew that was about to happen out of his quarter panel there. Reuven is going to have to regroup and rearm after he's now lost a whole second on this battle for the race lead. Really quick, Omri Farag, Ori Goldberg show. How about Ori Goldberg? He's going to make another pass happen here tonight. Ori, he had to start this heat from pit lane due to a penalty last race. How about the driver of the number 9? Gained 18, count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm not gonna count them all, but 18 positions, continuing to slice, dice, work his way back up to the front. And real quick, here's a really nice look at Yuval Merrick as well as Reuven Chacha's incident there. Or excuse me, not incident, but what all could have been. Look at Chacha leaving the tire marks on the racetrack there as he tries to get back up and into kind of striking distance here from Yuval. This has been a great race here so far. We are just halfway through heat race number 1 before we get a little bit too far in it here. Let's go, we'll check back here from Ofer Mazuz, Sisyan Baba. Oh, Sisyan, that's gonna be Ofer Mazuz and the student driver paint scheme. Black and yellow, black and yellow. He's now back onto the racetrack in the Ofer Mazuz machine. Oh, UV has crashed as well. UV is our other Yuval here on the racetrack. Looked like he's able to get it back and out on the racetrack. Let's see what happens here to UV. Oh, that's going to be okay. He makes it across Pilot's corner curve there. You could call it. Oh, just kind of. It's not really a wreck there for Yuval. He just gets hard onto the brakes, and then there you see in the background that was kind of the incident there for the quote-unquote student driver of Ofer Mazuz. Back up here to the race lead. It's starting to grow. Well, excuse me, the gap was starting to grow, but now starting to shrink as Reuven Chacha is able to really start to kind of find his pace, find his rhythm once again after getting that left mirror knocked clean off of that side of that Mazda MX5 Cup car. Oh, a big incident. You can see it in the track map there. Oh no, that's Emnon Sohari. I think that's the 20 of Omri Levy involved as well. Oh man, the whole front fascia there is missing off the front nose of Omri's machine. Let's see what happens between these two real quick. Omri Farag, he's got quite a bit of pace in these Mazda MX-5s. Remember, he finished P2 in the feature race from Tsukuba. Let's see what happens here. Maybe deepening into the, oh God, the car is going to get kind of loose off the rumble strips. Omri's still looking for his spin there as it took out Emnon as well. We'll fast forward it here and now have to hit the, we'll have to hit the forklift button as, let's see what happens here between these two. So here's Emnon, he's closing in. Oh no, I think that's throttle pedal paired with grass action there. And already the 20 was around, so it's 2 self-induced incidents for Emnon as well as Omri. All right, we've now crested halfway to go. It's still Yuval Merrick and Reuven Cha-Cha. There's Reuven after a little bit of contact on his side earlier on in the race. Cha-Cha, how about him? Where did he come from? Where did he go? Tonight you call him Cotton Eye Joe. Reuven right back up to the rear bumper of Yuval Merrick. Yuval, I don't know if he's looking more out of the front windscreen or that rear camera, excuse me, not rear camera, the rear view mirror up there in the top of the screen. Yuval here, let's hop on board with him here for the virtual driver cam, but we'll stay exterior on that iRacing cam. Reuven, oh, look at Yuval Merrick's hands go to work right there, swatting flies on the inside of the machine. Reuven Cha-Cha, he kind of uses a little bit more of the pilot's corner curve there. Right side tires lifted up and into the air as Reuven Cha-Cha trying to do everything that he can. He's waving them like he just doesn't care here tonight, but he does. It's been all clean. It's been all cordial. There's been a little side-by-side, but it's been ethical wheel racing between Yuval and Reuven up here for this battle for the race lead. Look at Yuval's eyes. It's back up front the windscreen, and then it's back out onto the rear view mirror. Right now, Yuval Merrick, he's going to play that kind of defensive line going into and down the turns here as we make our way through out of 9, 10, head our way back in towards 1 and 2. Yuval Merrick continues to retain that gap there for the race lead. Holy moly, Omri Farek. he's bouncing all over the place. I don't know how that Mazda MX5 is still moving and grooving out here on the track. I know this battle for the race lead is really boiling here, but here's a quick look at another incident with Omri. He's going to have the number 8 around down on that outside line. I think that's the number 8 of Gortal. Oh my God, heavy contact between the both of them. Hopefully all wrists are A-okay there. It was also starting to look 3 wide as the drivers were making their way through that. $14 minutes out of 20. It's Yuval Merrick. It's Reuven Cha-Cha still out up front, only separated by about 0.2 of a second. Yuval and I were chatting here before this race started, and I kind of said I think that I don't think it's going to be the race necessarily the race leader who's led the most amount of laps. I think it's all going to come down to the second to final lap, as well as the final lap, that white flag lap. Well, Reuven Cha-Cha's going to make me eat some words right here. He's going to maybe test the outsides, see if there's enough speed, see if there's enough grip and momentum out there as they both rooster tail dirt out of the rear ends of the Mazda MX5 Cup cars. Reuven Cha-Cha regroups, rearms, doesn't find the grip there out of corner exit out of 1 and 2. Let's see what he's able to do heading into 3 and 4 and down the isn't so straight. 5 minutes left to go in the race, and it all depends when these drivers cross that start timing loop, with lap times ranging in about the 1 minute 5 second range. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be tight when that white flag does come out, whether it's about 4 or 5 laps from now. But it's Reuven Cha-Cha. He's still retaining that gap to our race leader, about 0.2 of a second. He's still going to school right here, continuing to see where maybe Yuval is beating him there in some corners, and maybe Reuven is possibly carrying just a little bit more speed there and within the corner entrance, as well as carrying it through the corner exit as well. Yuval Merrick, here he comes. Here comes Reuven as he kind of tried to play some mind games heading down there to turn 1. Maybe it got Yuval Merrick off of this game there just a little bit, but Yuval Merrick, he still has the inside line with there, misses the inside curb. He's going to be able to get the throttle pedal down there just a little bit more quickly compared to laps prior. It's still side by side for the race lead as here comes some lap traffic up in front of these 2 drivers. Reuven Cha-Cha, fastest lap of the day with the 1:05.62. Yuval Merrick, he's got the second fastest lap. He's got the race lead once again. Door quarter just barely clear. Or is it clear here for Reuven Cha-Cha? Here comes Cha-Cha down and around the outside line once again. We're going to make our way through 9 and 10 once again. It's 16.5 minutes down. It's 4.5 minutes to go. It's still door-to-door racing out tonight from Oulton Park, the Foster's layout. Who gives way? Who is deeper on the brakes into turns 1 and 2? Neither of these drivers. It's a little contact between the 2. Yuval Merrick goes throws all 4 tires off the racetrack once again. It's going to be a slowdown for U of America. I do imagine so, as this is really going to allow Griiip and Cha-Cha to pull away here in these final closing laps of heat race number 1. Here comes U of America after compromising corner instance to try and get corner exit speed down after having to serve his penalty, which I do believe that yellow box up there in the top left of timing and scoring it does mean there. Real quick, here's Yossi Gabai and Iran Delitsky going at here. A nice battle between these 2 drivers. Oh, where's the boy? Where's the myth? Where's the legends? How about Mini Land? That's another driver who's really sliced, diced, worked his way through the pack here tonight. Mini, an active Stam Studio Network as well as IIL racing fan, as well as a racing driver down there, not just sim racing driver. Oh my goodness gracious, I think that was one of the drivers going another 4 tires off the racetrack. It was 3 wide for a second between Gabriel Fuchs, Ofer Mazuz, and Rodem Lev, who continue to go at it. And right now they're trying to chase the final 10th position, because remember, we invert the top 10 after this heat race. Ofer Mazuz goes way off the track, but he's going to try to look down the inside line here in a hard charging Gabriel Fuchs. It's almost side by side between the 2. Ofer, he's maybe going to give a little shot to the rear end of the Gabriel Fuchs machine. These drivers will make their way down and out of turns 9 and 10 for probably the 2nd to 3rd final time here tonight. Battle for the race lead on this first heat race. It's U of America, it's Griiip and Cha-Cha who continue to go at it here. Still side by side. It's clean, it's calm, it's cordial, except for calm. It's Griiip and Cha-Cha who tries to make the crossover work once again, but not able to make it happen. Here we go. 2 minutes coming to 1 minute left to go in the race. This is the white flag lap. Barney the flag man waving it loud and proud. White flag lap in heat race number 1. This is for points here within these front 2 drivers, but they will have to start in our feature race. They're in P10. Griiip and Cha-Cha, here he comes. He uses a little dab of the brakes to try and set up the front corner of the car. Oh, there's net code between the 2 drivers. There's the contact after the net code had ensued, but there wasn't any contact that slid U of America out and around from underneath him. It's going to be side by side between these drivers, door to door down the isn't so straight here for the final time tonight in heat race number 1. Who gives way? Who's deeper on the brakes? The brake lights come on at the same exact time. 4 tires. We're turning 8 tires. 8 tires turning better than 4 here tonight, as the number 20, I think that is starting to close in on this gap. It's still side by side between U of America, Griiip and Cha-Cha, who gains a little bit of advantage here out of coming to the stripe, coming to the start-finish line. It's going to be a photo finish. It's going to be Griiip and Cha-Cha to turn number 10. Griiip and Cha-Cha wins heat race number 1 by 0.03 seconds. Here comes Eddie Goldberg across the line. He'll take P3. That is another demanding points finish there for Uri. Drawer last comes across the stripe in P4. Here comes Sisyan Baba, Idan Eliyahu, Ezra Raphael, Mark Zubarev, and Mini Land. Hang on, this is also going to be another photo finish at the line. Who's it going to be? Give it to Mark Zubarev, 0.12 seconds at the line over Mini Land. How about Mini Land? He's going to start P2 for our feature race in just a few moments' time. Gabriel Fuchs, he is on the pole after gaining 10 positions, starting P20 in the heat race, works his way up to P10. Nice finish there for you, Gabriel. It'll be fun to watch you try and hold them all off here for this race restart. And how about Odie Goldberg? He finishes P3, gains 19 positions after having to start in the pits due to a penalty. He's not going to have to start on the pits for this feature race, though, as it is grid time here today on SSN and IIL. So these are our grid results here. You can flip the top 10, and that's pretty much our feature race results. But Gabriel Fuchs, I keep doing it, with the number 6. He's going to be on pole position for our feature. Mini Land, how about the man, the myth, the legend? He's up there, P2, starting on the outside row of outside row of row number 1. Mark Zubarev, he'll take P3. Ezra Raphael, Idan Eliyahu, Sisian Baba, Jor Last, Ori Goldberg Shoal, he'll start P8. Yuval Merrick after 0.03 seconds at the line, he'll start P9, and Reuven Chacha starts P10. Then from that point on back, it has been our feature race winners. Ladies and gentlemen, get up, stand up for your life, and don't you ever give up the fight. It is time for feature race here tonight from the iRacing Israel Mazda MX5 Cup League. It's a nice getaway there for those drivers running 8th, 9th, and 10th, as those are our feature race winners. We'll go back out up here to the front. Is it side by side? Mini Land takes away the race lead earlier on in this one. Gabriel Fuchs to P2. Here comes some more side by side, possibly even 3 wide. We'll settle it back down to 2 through turns 2 and turns 3 on this opening feature lap. Oh, there's a spin. It's Gabriel who gets spun. He goes around. The whole rest of the field gets their way through it after a little bit of contact there. We're going to start to look 2 and 3 wide. Now we'll settle it back down to 2. They're from 4th and 5th. 6th, 7th on back, also going at it here as it's hard to get away from these drivers. The slipstream, the draft, it's all coming into play here at the opening lap here out of race number 1. Here's Reuven Chacha, our heat race winner. He's trying to keep things all cool, calm, and collected after you're really trying to keep this front bumper, this front radiator clean because it's everything can change in an instant. Ari Goldberg Shell, he didn't make any time to waste. He's already up to P2. Mark Zubrev continues to run right where he started this feature race in P3, and then it's already Yuval Merrick slices, dices, works his way back up to P4. Here's a nice side-by-side battle between Chacha and Baba. Oh no, we got the race winner going, excuse me, front runner going around. Mini Land from all the way up at the front of the pack. No, he starts to fall like a rock after that 77 spins. I think tried to get on that throttle pedal after those racing tires were already in the grass. Oh, Mini Lands, hope the wrists are okay as he already toes it down there into the virtual garage. With that being said, Ari Goldberg Shell, Yuval Merrick is now side by side with Mark Zubrev. Mark, he's made these top 10 inversions here work. We have seen time and time again that Red Bull-esque racing machine. He's got Reuven Chacha down, breathing down his neck. Reuven Chacha down into the inside of Mark Zubrev. Here, pause. Oh, there's contact between the two. Unpause, it's here. Mark Zubrev. Oh, no, no, no. Heavy contact there. Yossi Gabai able to get back through it. There's another spin. That time it's Rotem Lev in the 404 who goes around. Golly, it's Newton's whatever law of motion. An object in motion will unfortunately stay in motion. A contact leads to even more contact. That's what I'm getting at here. It's the MF racing machine. Yuval Merrick back to P2. It's Ari Goldberg Shell back to P1. And we're having a real nice battle up here for P3 and 4 as we'll take a brief look at this kind of that last use. It's between that was sort of left there. It was, and we're a little bit late to it here. We got to get Billy the Bob driver off of his forklift driving machine here, and we'll slow it down here for you. There's already the contact between Zubrev and as well as I think that was the yellow and white one machine that was of Chacha right there, and then kind of in the hands of the 86, I believe, nowhere to go for Ezra Raphael. He plays a little bit of bumper cars, says get off of my front nose there, and then that's kind of all she wrote here for Ezra. Hopefully not too much damage. Okay, that's huge damage on that Rafa Media number 86 machine. It'll be interesting to see. I'm not showing a meatball here for him, so it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to stay out or kind of chooses to take that repair there in pit lane. Ari Goldberg Shell, he is not playing around in the feature race tonight after a little bit of a puff of smoke. I don't think it was from Ari though. Yuval Merrick up to P2, Reuven Chacha P3, Sisian Baba P4, Dror last with a really nice race restart. Is up to P5, and then how about Gortel, also a really nice race start in the feature race, excuse me. Him and Yossi Gabai both gaining 9 positions since this drop of the green flag. We'll hop on board with the virtual right front camera shot we have on Yossi here tonight. He continues to kind of retain that 0.2 of a gap of in front of Gortal up there in front of him. Gortal, he's got Drawer Last right up there in front of him for P5. This might get a little dangerous between Gortal and Drawer Last. Oh, there is contact between the two. They'll keep things moving and grooving. Back, down, and through the isn't so straight. And oh no, we got one going. I think that's Amir Atoon who went hard left. I don't think that, unless he had a hardware cutout or something there, you would imagine that there was contact that just sent Amir Atoon hard left there. We'll take a quick, oh God dang it. Okay, we'll take a quick camera shot at it here after, oh, it was kind of, he was already kind of running there off of the racing surface, all 4 tires off of the asphalt, and unfortunately that kills the speed and momentum there for the number 4 machine. Amir Atoon, it killed his speed, it killed his momentum, but it did not kill his mental state as he is still fighting for everything he's got here. Driving these Mazda MX5 cars, it is as much of a physical as it is mental game. And you can see that here, even with a 24-25 driver grid, it's still side by side through the pack. And I mean, look at Edan as well as Ezra Raphael up there for 11th, 12th, even 10th position. They're still, I mean, even with the contact and damage on the front ends of these machines, it's looking like a Top Gear episode tonight. It's looking like the Grand Tour as they find their way across this 2.6 kilometer 10 turn. Oh God, look at the hands go to work there for Amir Atoon. It's a fast, tough, tricky track running this Foster's layout here, and it keeps these drivers on their hands, keeps them all kind of ready to swat some flies within the cockpit of the machine. Real quick, we're going to take a quick crank it up, enjoy these Mazda MX5 engines roaring to life here on SSN and IIL YouTube tonight. My name's Sean Stam. I'll be right back with you up here in the booth. We'll hop on board with Yuval Merrick here. Slowly crank this puppy back down, even with Yuval Merrick now setting the fastest lap of the race with a flying 105.82, sliding his way around the track though. Looks like Reuven Chow is able to get by, but this might not be for long. Look at Reuven doing everything that he can to try and keep it on the asphalt up there in front of that hard charging, Reuven was the hard-charging driver after making the pass over Yuval Merrick. This isn't only this top 3 battle, but it's also the kind of battle for that final driver interview spot position. Sisian Baba, once again, he's kind of got his popcorn bucket out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He continues to kind of retain that gap between the top 3 driver interview spots. And I don't know if race fans caught it down there live in the crank it up, but Ezra Raphael still making passes with a Mazda MX5 with no front bumper, barely any front fascia left on it. These drivers whip their way down and across. Cameraman Billy Bob Joe down and across the stripe. There is 9 laps down. There's 11 laps to go. Here comes a nice side-by-side battle. It's door to door. It's beating, it's bumping. Yassi Kabai able to kind of get the spot here for the time being, but not quite here for long, as it's a really nice battle for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You could throw a blanket over all of them. There is Yossi Gabai, goes there just a little bit wide. Now he is on the slower portion of the racetrack, had to play the defensive line, and there's contact there. I don't know how. I think after the spin, the driver, we're still spinning. It was 3 wide. There goes the number 4. It is not Amira Toon's night. I think that was the, excuse me, that's not, we're still got drivers going out and around. Here we go, Amnon Sohari with some contact there. Shore last somehow made it through. That 3 wide battle all gone wrong. We gotta break it down here real quick. There's the 3 wide battle. There you see, oh God, who is it? Who is it? Who's the driver? The 44, not the 4 of Amira Toon, but that was the 44 of Yuvi Ishiyahu. He had kind of worked his way up to 13th, 14th position after, I mean, 2 and 3 wide, just all gone wrong there. It was tight racing between them. There's kind of the kind of starting portion of it, and then it's unfortunately, I think, 2 sets of tires that will turn a little bit better than 3 sets of tires there at that point. Nothing egregious though. It's been all racing incidents here as we now have crested our way across halfway to go in the feature race here from Oulton Park. It's the Foster's layout. Reuven Chacha, he's trying to gain this race lead back to Ori Goldberg Shaul. Reuven Chacha was trying to go back-to-back after winning the feature race from Tsukuba last, 2 weeks ago at Tsukuba Circuit. If we take a nice comparison here between the, I was going to say the lap times. It's been the last lap for Ori was a 106.34. Reuven Chacha, he has now put down the fastest lap of the race with a 105.77. That's about let's see. That's about, I think, about 8 to 6, 7, maybe even 8/10 of a second faster than Ori Goldberg Shaul. Ori trying to play some defense right there. Not quite yet. He's still got his front eyes locked out of the front windscreen, but continuing to lose some pretty important time now. The gap is now cut down to 0.4 seconds as Reuven Chacha once again is looking for back-to-back action here in the iRacing Israel League, live here on the iRacing Israel League YouTube land, as well as Stam Studio Network. It's still about a half of a second that separates Ori and Reuven Chacha as Yuval Merrick, he still runs P3 in that final driver interview position. But unless there's contact between these front two, these Ori and Reuven here are gonna be the drivers to beat, as now there's a 7.5 minutes left to go in the race. Arnon Levy's trying to hold off P6. Yossi Gabai, after gaining 9 spots since the drop of the green flag in our feature race. Yossi is still trying to hold off Ezra Raphael. I don't know. I mean, the damage model, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason that they call iRacing Simulation Motorsports iRacing Simulation and not iRacing Video Game. Well, I don't know if they have the arrow kind of all modeled here correct here, because Ezra Raphael, you got to put some respect on the man's name here tonight, continuing to find some very nice space in a Mazda MX5 Cup car. You can see right up and almost into the rocker box there, up to where his feet are hanging out. You can see the front camber on the front tires going to work, as well as the suspension diving down there into the track, keeping the 86 glued to this asphalt with really relatively no downforce available. As I'm talking all this nice stuff about the aerodynamic model, here we see Amira Toon after, I mean, what was it? Gains 1, 2, no, I'm just kidding. It's 15 spots gained for Amira Toon. This is a nice battle for P8 and 9 after Ezra Raphael loses the spot, but maybe doesn't lose the battle here quite just yet. Back up to the race lead. Reuven Chacha, he has done it all, and Ori Goldberg Shaul has done everything that he can to try to hold off this hard charge. Unfortunately, there's still 6 minutes left to go in the race, and that's 6 more minutes for Ori to try to hold on here. But after this gap that we've seen close here quite a bit and in a bit of a hurry, Here comes Griiip Cha-Cha. He's got the lead here for just a little times being, but he slots back to P2 after he knows that there's a little bit better opportunity to make this happen here out of 9 and 10. Here we're going to see it. Griiip Cha-Cha, he's going to school right here. Once again, testing to see what works. There's a little 0x, a little contact between the two race leaders. Hey, careful here. You start beating and banging just a little bit too much. Yuval Merrick is right there with them after still beating and banging after a little bit of side-by-side and side drafting action. That's all it takes for Griiip Cha-Cha to take away the race lead, and that's all it takes for Yuval Merrick to work his way back up to P2. I still think it's any one of these top 3 drivers race to win at this point. It's such a game of slipstream. It's such a game of draft, and right now the top 3 should still be well within that range. Tenth, 11th, 12th, 13th, Omri Farag, Eden Eliyahu, Tomer Ventura, Rodem Lev. Talk about some slipstream, talk about some draft here tonight. The more and more cars that you get yourself kind of into a train, the more and more sensitive that draft is, and the more and more it'll give you the big suck going down the isn't so straight pause. We'll go back to the race lead. Griiip Cha-Cha now at that 6/10 of a second lead. Hasn't really been the biggest 10th of a second lead we've seen though tonight. Yuval Merrick is right up in here with him. Ori Goldberg-Shaul right up in there with this final driver interview spot position. I wouldn't say solidified just yet, as it's still all up for grabs. Yuval Merrick, let's see. I don't think I've seen him blink maybe once, maybe twice, maybe thrice here tonight, but definitely not, right, 4 times, Rice? Yuval Merrick up to P2. He is all cool, calm, and collected, though. He is trying to make that defense happen right now, but it's not going to. It's Yuval Merrick. He's going to fall back to P3, but he's got the defensive line. He's got the inside line here. Oh, and over Ori Goldberg-Shaul. How about this? Ori Goldberg-Shaul falls back to P3. God, this isn't only a tight battle out here on the racetrack, but it's also a very nice tight battle here within our point standing as well. We'll call it about 3.5 minutes left to go in this one. Griiip Cha-Cha tries to run away from him as, oh boy, hang on real quick. Iran Delitsky goes around in the number 19 machine. Let's see if this one was self-induced. I don't think it's going to be Iran Delitsky here. He's going to have the number 70. Is that Mini Land out there? Kind of fakes the inside line. Oh, Mini Land fakes the inside line once again. Oh, heavy contact there. Strike in the bowling ball position. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, we'll go back out here for the battle for P2. I had to show that one real quick, as it's still Yuval Merrick. It's still Ori Goldberg-Shaul. They continue to side draft one another as the battle for the race lead continues to dwindle away. It's going to be beaten. It's going to be banging, but it's still ethical wheel racing. You can try, ladies and gentlemen, but you can't get much better racing than this here between the iRacing Israel League. It's going to be door-to-door between these two. Yuval Merrick gives away back the spot here going out of 9 and 10. This should be our second to final lap of our feature race. Points up for grabs, championship standings up for grabs, as well as, oh, that's right, the checkered flag is up for grabs. Real quick, nice P6, 7, 8, 9 battle. They're still raging it out here. About a little bit of in front of the midway through the pack action here. Amir Atun, Yassi goodbye. Here's a nice side-by-side action. Still door-to-door out of turn 2 as they head their way back and down the hill through 3 and 4 for I will believe second to final time here tonight. Yossi Gobai takes up P6 after, hey, we chatted with Yossi, I believe, in the top 3 interview booth after he took away P3 from Shakuba 2 weeks ago. Yossi, this is a nice point standings night if he's able to keep it up here tonight from Oulton Park. Back to this P2 battle as they're all chasing Griiip Cha-Cha. Ori Goldberg-Shaul, Yuval Merrick. Let's see what they can make happen here out of turn 9 and 10 for what's once again what should be the final time tonight. Look on the right side of your screen. There you see it. Barney the flagman waves the white flag loud and proud. It is officially the last lap here tonight. Uri Goldberg, Cheryl, Yuval Merrick just separated by 0.2 of a second. Amir Atoun, Ezra Raphael also separated by 0.2 of a second. We'll keep it up here for this battle for P2 and P3. Uri Goldberg, Cheryl, he's going to have to play those defensive line. Actually, he opens up the door, gives Yuval Merrick a chance as Uri tries to find that throttle pedal. He does find that throttle pedal. He's able to get the gas down there just a little bit sooner as Cha-Cha continues to run away with it. Griiip Cha-Cha, he's making his way around the isn't so straight for the final time tonight. It's only 2 more turns to make this all official for Griiip Cha-Cha. It's only 2 more turns to solidify who gets P2 and who gets P3 between Uri Goldberg Shell as well as Yuval Merrick. It's now 1/10 of a second separating these two throughout the 9 and 10 for the final time tonight. It's going to be Griiip Cha-Cha making his way towards the start-finish line. He's got it! Griiip Cha-Cha back-to-back races here in the iRacing Israel League. Uri Goldberg Shell to the P2 line, 0.16 seconds in front of God, you got to feel for Yuval. Oh, bridesmaid position there by 0.03 earlier on, and then P3 by 0.16. Now here's a nice battle between Sisian Baba. He gets P4 at the line. Amir Atoun, holy guacatulis, Amir Atoun, Yossi Gabe, 0.01, count them, 0.01 seconds separated at the line. Here's going to be another photo finish. This one's going to be between UV as well as Arnon Levy. Give it to UV at the line by 0.18 seconds as he blows the motor coming across the start finish. We still got him blowing the motors. Okay, really quick, we got to take a look at Amir Atoun and Yossi Gabe. They're coming across the start-finish line because 0.01 seconds separating these two. This will be a fun one to watch. And hang with us here at SSN and IIL as these drivers make their way across the Isn't So Straight for the final time. Check this one out. We'll get those top 3 driver interviews as well as the unofficial, official race results here tonight. Look at Amir, look at Yossi Gabe start to go at it here side by side. This will be out of turn 9 and 10 for the final time. This one's going to be a good one. Amir Atoun has the outside, it switches back into the inside line, and then it's all a game of inches. It's all a game of centimeters. Who gets to it first here for P5 and P6? Looks like Yossi had to kind of tug on the steering wheel a little bit to the left to miss the kind of Sisian Baba machine. That's what 0.01 seconds looks like at the line right there, folks. We had a more zoomed in shot, but it's just a game of centimeters here tonight. We appreciate each and every single one of you joining in on SSN and IIL. Here are those unofficial, official race results. And that's right, stick with us here in just a few moments' time. We'll get those top 3 driver feature interviews. Griiip Cha-Cha after starting P10 after that top 10 inversion. How about it? That was a lot of fun to watch. Not only him way worked us through it, but as well as battle for that race lead and did it all cleanly. Griiip Cha-Cha back-to-back here in the Israel iRacing League. Excuse me. Yep. No. Yeah. iRacing Israel League. Uri Goldberg Shell to P2. Yuval Merrick, the final driver interview position. Sisian Baba comes home with a P4. Nice finish for Baba tonight. As well as Amir Atoun, Yossi Gabe. Amir gains 18 since the drop of the green. Yossi Gabe gains 10. Nice run for these drivers in the Mazda MX5s. Ezra Raphael, Gortel, Tomir Ventura, and Jor Last are the drivers who round up the top 10. Idan Eliyahu UV comes in P12. Arnon Levy, Amnon Sohari, Shalami Bakesh, Alexei Sorfin, Rodem Lev, Mini Lance, Gabriel Fuchs, as well as Iran Delitsky, who ran out the top 20. Omri Levy, Omri Farag, Mark Zubrev, and Ofer Mazuz, who ran up the top 24. Thanks again, everybody who's joined in tonight on live YouTube land. Thanks for the drivers putting on a show, and we appreciate Tal and Elian down there. Lots and lots of hard work down there behind the scenes as well. I believe, let's see here. All right, we got him down there live in the driver interview booth. Cha-cha, hey, this is Sean Stam, live down here in virtual Victory Lane. You got yourself a copy, Reuven.
Hey, yeah. I'm pretty satisfied with the result. It was fun.
Yeah. Oh, man, I would be too, Reuven. Congratulations on not only the race win tonight, but as well as a back-to-back finish. That's going to rocket you up in the point standings. Reuven, what was going through your mind? Not only did you cross the line to make it all official, but as well as Reuven, what was going through your mind as you were putting some nice battles out here on track with Ori and Yuval?
Just to survive, mostly. It was, I mean, this track, it doesn't matter how fast you are, right? I mean, with this car, the slipstream is insane, and it's all about just keeping yourself in mind, I mean, settled, and be prepared for overtakes that you cannot know where it will come from, especially when it comes to Ori and Yuval that are like a masterclass in racing. It was pretty fun. It was pretty respectful. We had, several touches here and there, and we were prepared for that. We tried even to practice to that, but things happening. It's racing. But that being said, it was real fun, and I was trying just to be prepared for the next overtake or the next defense move, because this is all about Miata and Oulton, basically.
Well, that's a great track combo, lightweight car, and a lightweight horsepower. They're kind of considered aerodynamically considered bricks. And kind of saw that come into, like you mentioned there, Reuven, the slipstream and draft. It was fun to watch you kind of battle it out here, as well as take another checkered flag on the season. Reuven, is there anybody you'd like to thank or kind of makes it all possible for you, man?
Yeah, sure. First, for the league managers and participants. I mean, I have a decent amount of experience in this league, and it always surprises me with great drivers and great community. And I want to thank also the big shout out to the leaders, which is Ori and Yuval, which had a great fight and as always putting a great show. And of course, Sean, for you also. I mean, there is no better way to finish a race other than opening YouTube with a beer in hand and just watching you commentating our races. So big thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, big thanks back to you, Reuven. That goes a long way back there behind the scenes. Keeps us moving and grooving back here, and as well as I'm sure Yuval and Ori appreciate that as well. It was a lot of fun to watch you, Reuven. Crack open the beer, crack open the champagne. You've earned it here tonight, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Good night.
You have a good night as well. I believe we're going to catch up with, hey, we got him, Ori Goldberg Show. This is Sean Stam live down here in top 3 Victory Lane. Ori, you got yourself a copy.
Hey, Sean, good evening.
Hey, great evening here to you, Ori. Holy cow, you've done it. Started from the pits, worked your way back up to the front, and then you had to do it again in our feature race. Ori, what fun to watch here tonight, and the red and white Marlboro paint scheme. What was going through your minds? I mean, that whole race, I'm sure you're sweating up a storm here tonight.
Yeah, it was quite a hard race. In the qualifying, I did not settle up, and then I started like from almost dead last, and then I had to work my way up. I got up to 3rd, which was really nice, and then in the race I started 8th, and I again walked my way up to 1st, and then it was just Reuven behind me. He was so fast, I couldn't really do anything, and then we were fighting a bit, and then that thing happened, and I went up to 3rd and fighting with Yuval, and in the end I finished 2nd, so I'm happy with it.
Man, I would be too, Ori. It's that's definitely gonna help you keep you up there in the point standings. Since I mean, you Ori, Yuval, even Sisyan Baba up there were putting on flyers of laps. I mean, lap after lap after lap, and I mean, I know Reuven's got 7,200 I rating. You yourself with 4,100 I rating. So I mean, this was some really nice battles up here out up front. It was a lot of, clean, ethical racing. Maybe a little beating and banging here, Ori, but a lot of fun to watch. You try to hold off our charging Reuven. Is there anybody who you would like to thank who makes it all possible for you, Ori?
I would like the community of all the Israeli sim racing out here, and like Tal Stern and also Reuven and the guys in front. It's like really fun racing here in this league.
Man, that Tal appreciates that, and everybody down there in the Israel iRacing League, the iRacing Israel League, it goes a long way there. Ori, we have all appreciate it for you, and congratulations on another top 2 finish. Hopefully, we're chatting with you here in the next race.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Or you have a great night as well. As we're now going to move on to our P3 finisher. Not only was the bridesmaid from the heat race, but as well as P3 tonight by just 0.16 seconds at the line. Hey, Yuval, this is Sean. You got yourself a copy, man.
Yep, copy.
Well, Yuval, you said this was going to be a fun one. We were kind of chatting it up before the race. It was definitely fun. Man, oh man, just, I mean, blink of an eye losing out on P2 and P2 and feature, well, win and then P2 and feature race. Yuval, you definitely had the pace here tonight, but it's slipstream draft, it's momentum, whatever you want to call it. What was going through your mind as you tried to tackle this kind of tough, tricky Foster's layout?
Actually, I was just trying to survive. I had problems with my PC. Before the race start, I almost missed the race start because iRacing crashed, and after that I raced on 20 FPS, so just a survival days.
Oh my days. Well, Yuval, that is saying something right there. 20 FPS, and you were still able to put down, I mean, best 105.82 flying out here around Oulton Park. Other than your PC, who we have to give a huge shout out here for you. Opposite of, I guess. Yuval, who were we shouting out here tonight for you?
I would like to shout out my sponsor, Griiip. Yeah, big thanks to them, and big thanks to you for broadcasting, and thanks to the management, Tal Stern, and yeah, ILAKA, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Yuval. We hope that you have a great rest of your night, and best of luck here to you in about 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's going to about here do it for us on SSN and IIL and ILAKA Esports. We appreciate, once again, each and every single one of you from the bottom of our hearts. Hopefully you have a great rest of your night. Make sure you fly those virtual flights home safe, and you drive those virtual cars home safe. My name's Sean Stam, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your night.